Good evening, everybody. My name is Diane Emery, and I'm the Executive Director of the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, and it's indeed my great pleasure to welcome you to our 26th annual induction ceremonies. This evening in honor of sports excellence is a celebration of our rich and proud sports heritage, and it's the moment when we officially induct the class of 2007 into our Hall of Fame. Since our first induction ceremonies back in 1982, we have welcomed 138 athletes, 65 builders, and 43 teams into the Hall. Throughout the evening, in recognition of their outstanding contributions, the names and images of all of our honored members will be shown on the screens around the room. To give you an idea of some of the great moments from our sporting past, we put together a little something to remind us all of just how proud we are here in Northwestern Ontario. Please watch your screen. Sport inspires us to be our best. Sport teaches us to dream about the possibilities of what can happen through dedication and hard work. It was such a dream that led to the creation of the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, a place to preserve and honor the rich sports heritage of our region. And what a proud history that has been.
Opening period, Rick St. Croix.
Yes, Jeff Curry breathes a sigh of relief as he heads back with a beautiful pick of the Manitoba Stone.
Continuing the momentum, important for the national team. A hard-working job. 198-pound Steve Danier, a well-deserved gold medal.
Well, Kurt Harnett had seen it done, and now he does it to Gary Newan. Kurt Harnett to the finish. A bronze medal for Canada.
Vernon Linklater representing Canada.
With 8,525 points, Michael Smith representing Canada.
Where is one strikeout away? Here comes the pitch, the swing and a miss, and it's all over. Thunder Bay, Continental All-Stars go out to Mob.
The final rock of the 10th inning.
The Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. It's about pride. It's about moments in time. It's about memories. It's the place where legends live on. And now, please join me in welcoming into the ballroom our 2007 inductees, starting with a woman who went from the running tracks of Thunder Bay to the cross-country trails of the world, runner Janette Dowton Stute. A woman who swam her way into the record books, swimmer Johanna Malloy Stewart. Representing Szura, who has been inducted posthumously this evening, a very proud grandson and namesake, Joey Szura. Representing Bill Charlebois, who is overseas coaching his proud son, Peter Charlebois. And a man who went from the ski hills of Port Arthur to guiding Canada's crazy Canucks, builder John Ritchie. And our Canadian Championship team, the members of the 1975 Fort William National Internationals, Mark Backer. Lee Browning. Doug Harris. Andy Hay. Representing Graham Longley, his son Graham Jr. Ken Mayer. Dave Ossipenko, Gordon Pierce, Dave Purdy, John Sliskovic, Dan Tennant, representing manager Maurice Sawchuk, who has been honored posthumously this evening, his wife Anita Sawchuk. And the coach of this national championship team, Bill Postar, who is also representing his son, Peter. Unable to be here tonight are Gord Griffin and Bill Alexic, but they send their best wishes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our 2007 inductees. I would ask you now to please rise and join Denise Krawchuk in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons' command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free, from far and wide. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Awesome as always, Denise. Thank you very much. I'd now like to call upon, you can take your seats. I'd now like to call upon Hall of Fame President John Garland to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Directors.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Directors, it gives me great pleasure to welcome everyone to the 26th Annual Induction Dinner and Ceremonies of the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. Since 1982, we have dedicated ourselves to honoring the outstanding efforts put forth by our fellow citizens in the field of sport. We are pleased that you're on hand this evening to help us celebrate our region's rich and proud sports history and to officially welcome the 2007 inductees into the Hall of Fame. I'm also pleased to acknowledge the presence of some dignitaries who are here this evening, and you'll be hearing from a couple of them shortly. But please welcome Thunder Bay Rainy River MP Ken Boshkoff, representing Joe Camusi, Superior North MP Penty Lund, Thunder Bay Etacocan MPP Bill Morrow, Thunder Bay Superior North MPP Michael Gravel, and from the City of Thunder Bay, Councillor Larry Hebert, and Councillor Rebecca Johnson. Preserving our region's sports heritage and ensuring that our present and future generations know about our heroes and our rich past is a very important role that we continue to fulfill year after year. We would not be able to do what we do without the support of our truly dedicated staff. And I mean really, really dedicated staff. In particular, Diane Emery, our Executive Director, and Kate Dwyer, our Creator. They do a heck of a job. I'd also like to extend a big thank you to all our volunteers, our sponsors, our donors, and of course, all three levels of government. Thank you all for your ongoing dedication and support. So thank you everyone for being here this evening as we acknowledge and the accomplishments of our 2007 inductees and to officially welcome them into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to them on your accomplishments and treasure the memories. Thank you.
And now, as John mentioned, Joe Camusi is not able to be here. He had hoped to, but at the last minute could not attend. But he has asked, he's delegated his duties to a Hall of Famer, Penty Lund. Penty, please come forward and join me in welcoming Penty.
Good evening, folks. I've got two from the political world to pass on their greetings to you. I've got it all written down here so I won't get it screwed up. It is a distinct honor and pleasure for me to extend greetings to all on behalf of not just one, but two federal members of Parliament. First, Helena Gergis sends her best wishes to all assembled here to witness the induction of those being enshrined into the Sports Hall of Fame. Who is Helen Gergis? You may be wondering. Well, she wears a number of hats. In addition to being the Federal Minister of Sports, she is also Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs and International Trade. The other federal parliamentarian that has asked me to extend his best wishes is the Honorable Joe Camuzzi, the longtime member for Thunder Bay Superior North. Both extend their congratulations to all of tonight's inductees. To me, that sounds like a motion that has been made and seconded. There's only one more thing to do then, is to adopt the motion, and so I cast my vote to adopt it unanimously.
Thank you, Penty. The Hall of Fame is very proud to do our part in preserving not just our regional history, but our province's history as well. And we're very thankful for the support that we have received from the Government of Ontario over many, many years. We're pleased this evening to welcome Bill Morrow, MPP for Thunder Bay Atikokan, to bring greetings on behalf of the Government of Ontario.
Well, thank you, Diane, and it's a pleasure for me to be here tonight. Welcome to all of you. Congratulations to Diane, the Executive Director of the Hall, and all of her staff for, once again, as always, pulling together a great event. To John Garland, who is just up here. John, I don't see you out there. I know you're here somewhere as President of the Board of Directors and all of the entire board. Congratulations to you for all of the work that you do on an annual basis. To the selection committee and all of the volunteers who are involved year after year in putting on a tremendous event, I thank you for your input and your continued dedication to this event. Congratulations, of course, and the reason we're here tonight, to all of the athletes. Janette Dowton, Johanna Malloy, John Ritchie, Bill Charlebois, and Joe Szura. A special congratulations from me to the baseball team that's here tonight. Many of these guys, not so young anymore, I was going to describe them as young men, are former teammates of mine in my days when I was still playing hardball. I know many of them well. Congratulations to you. It's always a bit difficult for me because my group that was 2 or 3 years before you came within a couple of outs 2 years in a row to accomplishing what you guys did, so I'm extremely envious of what you managed to accomplish. Those were 7-inning games we played in Senior Little League in those days, and we lost one time 1-0 in 10 innings. And another time 6, 5, and 12 innings to continue on to try and do what you did, and I missed it by that much. So a special congratulations to all of you. I do want to make just a special note of congratulations to the builders. When I was young, athletics was a very large part of my life, still is to this day. Very fortunate to have made a lot of great friendships and met a lot of great people through athletics. I was fortunate to have had coaches like Barton Bradley, who was the head scout for the Boston Bruins, and Peter Young, who, as many of you will remember, Peter is a sportscaster for Thunder Bay Television, and Bobby Thayer, wrestling coach at the Olympics in '76, and Roger Bradford, Jerry Carlson, Bob Main, Jack McMahon. I was so fortunate to have had so many incredible volunteers be part of my life. But when you're young, as is the case, as many have said, youth is wasted on the young. You don't necessarily have the perspective to appreciate what you are experiencing at that time. And when you get a bit older, you learn to appreciate how fortunate you've been. So a special congratulations to Bill Charlebois and John Ritchie And Peter Poster, who is here tonight, senior as well, whose voice filled my head with some incredible childhood memories. One especially when Vic Vanaski scored 5 goals when he was picked up by the Port Arthur Mars in about 1968 or 69, when the Fort William Gardens used to cram about 5,000 or 6,000 people into it, and that building was rocking. And Peter, I was there that night, and I never forgot the sound of your voice. Still rings in my ears from time to time. So a special congratulations to the builders. Your athletes are in your debt, but more importantly, I think your community is in your debt. Your contributions to your athletes are important, but as well, the contributions you've made to your community in putting Thunder Bay on the map and building good young men who become pillars of this community in the years going forward are to be commended, and I thank all of you for that. Once again, Diane, thank you for the opportunity. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Bill. Another fantastic supporter of the Sports Hall of Fame is the City of Thunder Bay. Not only do they provide us with a building to operate, they provide us with an operating grant each year. So please join me in welcoming a Hall of Fame inductee himself, because he was on one of those Little League teams, Bill, that won, Councillor Larry Hebert, to bring greetings on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Diane. I was going to mention that, so it's far better you mentioned about that, the fact that we did win, Bill. But I had a very good team, and that's why I'm here, not because I was a good coach. And I really proudly wear the ring that I got back in 1991 at our induction. So I do congratulate the inductees for this year and enjoy the evening. It's a beautiful, simple, but elegant evening that you'll treasure the rest of your lives. I do want to say on behalf of Mayor Lynn Peterson and the rest of council, and Rebecca Johnson is here tonight, I want to recognize Rebecca as well, that we're very proud to support the Sports Hall of Fame and the museum. It's a great tribute. Northwestern Ontario has a great history of sport, and we're proud to support that with hosting the Hall of Fame in Thunder Bay and the great work. And I want to congratulate Diane and her staff, the board. It's nice to be back on the board. I'm the city council rep on the board now, and I was involved with this board for many years and used to MC this dinner, as a matter of fact. And so I have a great history here. I think I missed one of the 26 dinners because I was MCing a wedding at another hotel nearby a couple years back. But that's the only one of these dinners I'd missed, because I think it's one of the most elegant evenings we have in Thunder Bay. And it's great to honor this tradition of great sports in Northwestern Ontario. So on behalf of council, I want to congratulate the inductees, thank the media for their coverage, and again, thank the board of directors and all the volunteers at the Sports Hall for their great contribution to sport in Northwestern Ontario. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. The Hall of Fame would literally not exist without a vision and commitment and dedication that has been shown by hundreds of volunteers over the years. Many of the people who have played a part and continue to play a part in the Hall's development are here this evening, including current and past selection committee and board members and general committee members. I'd like to ask you, if you've ever been on the board or on the selection committee at this point, to please stand and receive, please, a much-deserved round of applause, but because without you, we would not be here this evening. They're too shy, but thank you very much, everybody. A highlight of the induction ceremonies, as you saw at the beginning, was a video that was shown, and this evening we will also be showing some other videos. None of that would be possible without the incredible donation of time and resources that we have received for 18 years from John and Darlene Zupan of JD Video and Recording Services. John's hiding behind that screen right now, but John, thank you very much on behalf of the Hall of Fame for all that you have done. This evening's also being recorded on film, and Jaron Childs from Superior Images is here again this evening. Jaron, thank you. Now, throughout the evening, you are all welcome to take photographs, but we would ask you that you please allow Jaron to take the official shots as the people are being inducted and as they're seated under their plaque. But once that has taken place, and at the end of the evening, of course, you're welcome to take as many as you like. Our host hotel, the Valhalla, thanks to Rennie Gertner and his staff for once again serving as our host site. We could not also do what we do if the media did not record the fantastic sporting achievements that take place throughout the year. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge Brian Wyatt, Sports Director, CKPR Radio and TBT Sports. Brian, thank you very much for your support. And Janette Fuchek is here from Thunder Bay Sports Scene. Janet, thank you very much. Each year we take a moment to acknowledge and remember those honored members who have passed away since we last joined together. I would please ask that you turn your attention to the screens in the room and join me in honoring in silence the memory of those who we have lost this past year. Their legacies will live on in the Sports Hall of Fame. I would now like to call Dick Hill, Hall of Fame board member, to lead us in grace, which will be followed by dinner.
Blessed are you, Lord our God, maker of heaven and earth, and Father of all your people. We praise you for life and health, for this special day, for our honored athletes and inductees. Bless this food and grant that all who eat it may be strong in body and grow in your love. Blessed are you, Lord our God, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Dick. And as I mentioned, it's now dinner. Enjoy your meal, and we'll be back following dinner with our induction ceremonies.
Our 2007 inductees represent a number of different sports over a variety of eras. Their accomplishments have brought us great pride. Tonight, we have the opportunity to thank them for all that they have done and ensure that future generations will know about the role they have played in our proud sports heritage. Through the magic of technology and the hard work of John Zupan and Diane Imrie, we're able to step back in time and relive the accomplishments of our 2007 inductees as they unfold on the screens before you. You'll find a big screen TV in the front and screens at the back. So let's begin by taking a look at the accomplishments of our first 2007 inductee in the athlete category, a woman who I had the good fortune to compete with.
Growing up in Thunder Bay, Janette Dowton was always on the go. Whether it was on the track, a gymnastic mat, or the trails of the Cascades, she was always demonstrating a determination and drive that saw her enjoy a successful athletic career. Gaining her first taste of success in track and field events as a student at Clodgarten Elementary School in the early 1970s, she continued her winning ways at Lakeview High School, adding SSSAA honors in gymnastics to her list of accomplishments. Continuing to develop her talent and passion for the sport of running, she competed for the Lions and as a member of the Thunder Bay Olympic Club, dominating local, regional, and provincial running events in both track and cross country, often in record-setting style. On the track from 1976 to 78, she accumulated numerous SSSAA and Norwassa titles. At the provincial level, she was a force to be reckoned with. In 1977, she won bronze in the junior 1500 meter at OFSA, in the 800 meter and 1500 meter at the Ontario Summer Games, and in the 800 meter at the Ontario Track and Field Championships. In 1978, with a personal best, she earned OFSA gold in the 1500 meter, followed up with a silver medal in the 3000. Her silver medal in the 3000 at the 1978 National Junior Track and Field Championships earned her the admiration of her many fans and a spot on the junior national team. On the cross-country trails, Janette would often leave her competitors in the dust. Making a name for herself from the local to the provincial level, she contributed to Northwestern Ontario's midget gold medal winning team performance at the 1976 Ontario Cross Country Championships and earned individual silver honors. At OFSA, she followed up her 1976 midget bronze with junior gold in 1977 and silver in 1978. Her 1977 sixth and 1978 fifth place performances at the Canadian Cross Country Championships in the 5,000 meter earned her a spot on the Canadian Senior Cross Country team. Representing her country with distinction, she participated in the 1978 IAAF World Cross Country Championships in Scotland, where, as one of the youngest competitors at the meet, her 77th place showing played a key role in Canada's 10th place team finish. The top female across the line in road races in Thunder Bay, Superior, and Winnipeg, and named Lakeview's Senior Female Athlete of the Year in 1979, Janette headed off to Indiana's Purdue University on a full scholarship. Competing successfully in NCAA Division I cross-country and track events from 1979 to 82, she served as a member of the record-setting 1980 Big Ten Championship cross-country team. Having done exceptionally well in her running career, Janette set out to establish a physical therapy career, eventually making her way to Colorado Springs. By the late 1990s, she was back to competitive running and back in the headlines. Although the name may have changed to Stute, the talent remained. In May of 1996, she returned to her hometown to compete in the road race she had won 17 years earlier. Not only did she win the race, she did so in record-setting style, knocking close to 5 minutes off her previous time. Taking the knowledge she gained from the many competitions she participated in, Janette served as an assistant cross-country coach at Colorado College from 1998 to 99. For the past 10 years, this dedicated athlete has inspired the youth of her community as a volunteer coach, passing on her passion for running to the next generation of young athletes who started out just as she did years before.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, Janette Dowton Stoop. Janette has traveled here this evening from Colorado Springs with her husband Fred. Their children, who are all in school, could not be here in person, but they have all sent along some messages for their mom. The first one: my mom is the best mom a kid could ask for. When I was younger, I knew that my mom ran, but didn't really know how much else. When we were kids, whenever mom would win a trophy in a race, we had a rotation as to which of the kids got which trophy. As I grew older, my mom introduced me to running, both competitively and leisurely. I am a freshman in college and still love running to this day. It has been my mom's constant support and encouragement that has led me to be so passionate about running. Throughout the years, my brother, sister, and myself have logged many hours on the track training for cross-country races. Our mom has been there every time recording times, encouraging us and even taking care of us when we would get sick or dehydrated. Racing for me is the best part of running, and in every single race that I can remember, I always had one fan for sure that I could count on. My biggest fan, my best supporter, the only person I know that gets more pumped up about racing than me, and the person on the course always cheering, screaming, and sprinting beside me has always been my mom. I wish I could be sitting next to you right now and celebrating with you, but unfortunately, like a cross-country race, I'm on the other side of the course, and you can't make it in time. But you know that I will see you at the finish line. Congratulations on this very special day. Love you lots. You did it. Your son, Daniel. The second message: dear Mom, the pride I feel for you is beyond a literary description. It is a type of pride that I can only express through my love of you. I recall how discreet you have always been about your running success, never going into any detail unless I asked. All I can say is, Mom, there is a reason why this honor is yours. You have earned this award. Beyond my pride to be your son, I have an equally great feeling of gratitude. I love running. It is as simple as that, and I owe so much of that to you. Always it was my choice whether to run, whether to commit a little more, whether I wanted to go into the postseason and run or not. The reason for my gratitude is that you always, without falter, supported me in my decisions. You, not forcing running upon me, created my burning passion for running. And this might very well not have happened without your constant support. I'm in my junior year of high school now, and I can only say that because of you, I'm running the best that I ever have. Thank you so very much. Congratulations on your induction into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. In my mind, you have always been there. Your ever-loving son, Stephen. Message number 3. She's been busy over the years. Dear Mom, I am so proud to say that I am your daughter. Ever since I can remember, you have been a huge athletic inspiration to me. I'll never forget the days when I was growing up, when I would see you finish a running race and I would yell aloud in joy and pride, "That's my mom." I never fully realized how accomplished you were in running till now, because you have always been very modest about your victories. You'll always remain in my life as an athletic idol. Congratulations on your big day. I'm truly sorry that I couldn't make it, but enjoy every moment of it. After all, you certainly earned it. Love your daughter, Jenny Stute. Ladies and gentlemen, Janette Stute. Congratulations.
How do I follow that up? Wow, what a surprise. Thank you, Fred. I'm sure you had a part in those messages. Fred's my husband and my best friend, and he's the first person I absolutely need to thank. I'll go back to my script now. I didn't know about all those others. This morning I ventured out on a nostalgic run around Boulevard Lake and reflected on my 30-plus years of running. At 16, Greg Holm introduced me to organized training and a multitude of fellow runners. I could never have achieved anything without my running family's support, camaraderie, and encouragement. Thank you. Some of you are here tonight, and I'm very honored that you would take time to come and enjoy this with me. My highlight from these years undoubtedly was representing Canada at the 1978 World Cross Country Championships. Huge highlight. Running has also provided me with a gift of education through athletic scholarship. There were many highlights during those careers, but by far my most prized trophy is my education that I earned through my athletic endeavors. I am grateful for that opportunity. I have remained healthy and have enjoyed many races over the years. My highlight of my adult racing years was coming back for that unresolved 10-mile road race with the tremendous crosswind that day, but it was very enjoyable. Thank you for such a wonderful race. In these past 10 years, I've enjoyed coaching. I am thankful to all the enthusiastic carriers who I have had the honor and the thrill to guide. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my brother-in-law, David, for nominating me. For my tremendous family support, thank you, Mom, Dad, and the rest of the family members, friends, and most of all, I'd like to thank the Northwestern Ontario community and the selection committee for honoring me. This is my highest highlight. Thank you.
We will now take a look at the career of our next athlete inductee, a swimmer who left a legacy of success in her wake.
When young Johanna Malloy, or Johanna Stewart as she is best known today, was growing up with her three brothers, sports was a way of life. From the moment she got into the pool at the YMCA, it was obvious that swimming would become the sport that would earn her a place in the record books. In no time at all, her talents earned her an invitation to join the Thunder Bay Dolphins Swim Club. When the Thunderbolts came into being in the early 1970s, she advanced to that club, headed by Coach Don Talbot. Exhibiting great strength and speed, she established herself as a dominant force in the pool as a freestyle specialist, swimming individually and as part of successful relay teams. Traveling to numerous national competitions, she became a well-decorated athlete as she improved with each stroke. The 1976 season saw her qualify for the Olympic trials, where she put in a personal best in the 100-meter free. Narrowly missing a position on the Olympic team, she competed at the Kojo meet, a warm-up for the Olympic Games, returning home with gold, silver, and bronze. Her efforts earned her a spot on Canada's national swim team, serving with them from 1977 to 80. It seemed that whenever she participated in a meet, Johanna would come home with hardware. Competing in Canadian Summer and Winter Nationals from 1976 to 79, she amassed close to 20 medals and put in record-setting and memorable performances. One such moment took place in 1978, when she set a Canadian record in the 50-meter freestyle with a time of 26.01 seconds and won an additional gold, 3 silvers, and a bronze. What made this feat even more remarkable was that just 6 weeks prior to the event, she had broken her hand, removing the cast just prior to the competition. Another outstanding performance took place at the 1977 Jeux Canada Summer Games. A member of Team Ontario, she owned the pool and the headlines in St. John's, Newfoundland from August 16th to 19th. First, it was a gold medal in the 50-meter freestyle long course, where her time of 26.95 seconds established a new Canadian age group, senior, and Canada Games record. She followed up this record-setting performance with another gold in the 100-meter, and 2 gold and 2 silver in team relays, bringing home an incredible 6 medals from this national event. To say that the citizens of Thunder Bay were proud of her accomplishments would be an understatement, naming her Sportsman of the Week and Female Athlete of the Year. Representing Canada on the international stage, her 58 seconds in the 100-meter freestyle at the 1977 National Olympic Committee meet in Germany earned a bronze medal and ranked her amongst the fastest swimmers in the world. Competing in Canada Cup meets in the Canada versus the Soviet Union event, she constantly did her country proud, making trips to the podium a regular occurrence. Attending the 1979 World University Games in Mexico, she anchored Canada's 4x100-meter relay team to a bronze medal, one of only 3 medals won that year by Canadian athletes. With her coach relocating to Nashville, the decision was made for Johanna to follow. Offered 3 full athletic scholarships upon graduation, she chose to attend Auburn University in Alabama, where she earned All-American honors in 1980 and 1981. On track in her training and with her sights set on the 1982 World Championships, an event only held every 3 years, the unthinkable occurred. A knee injury, subsequent surgery, forced her out of the pool and into an early retirement, leaving in her wake a decade-long career full of great success that truly set a standard for others to follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, Johanna Malloy Stewart. As was mentioned in the video, Johanna grew up with 3 brothers, one of whom, Joe, made the trip from Woodstock to be here for her induction. Also on hand tonight are her proud mom and dad, husband Mark, and children Lauren, Neil, and John. Ladies and gentlemen, Johanna Stewart.
I won't be too long. They warned me. Just good evening to you all, and thank you all for coming here tonight to this wonderful event to support all the inductees. Special thanks to my family and friends who came out to support me. And again, a special thank you to the committee of the Sports Hall of Fame for all their hard work to put on this wonderful event and having me inducted. First of all, I have to say how thrilled I am to be inducted. I knew I was nominated a few years ago, and you always wait to hear if it's going to happen. I feel that it's an honor to be included with all the talented athletes who have been inducted over the years. I'd like to thank the people who deserve to be recognized as instrumental in my accomplishments and whom without I could not have succeeded. My parents for their ongoing support, whether I was winning or not. My mother who drove me to practice twice a day, beginning at 5 a.m., Monday to Saturday for years. I can recall her saying she believed the car could make it to the pool by itself. My coaches, Jerry Baker, who was my first coach and invited me to join the Fort William Dolphins at about the age of 9, and Don Talbot, who coached me through my high school years and provided me with the training required to compete internationally, as well as my former teammates and their parents. Without them and their support, we would not have had a team or a talented coach. It's a wonderful award to receive, but it didn't come easy. We trained hard, and Talbot saw to that. He was such a taskmaster that there was no reason that was acceptable to miss practice, whether it be 40 degrees below or running out of gas on the way to the pool. Not a cold or a stomach flu. He'd say there's enough chlorine in the pool to handle a little vomit. Keep swimming, he'd say. Some of us even suffered from a few injuries, some more than others. And again, of course, it was the broken hand that got a lot of comments lately. Again, it was I broke my hand 6 weeks before Winter Nationals. He made sure I had a waterproof cast. Come back when you have it on. He says, counterweight the other arm, no problem. Hop in. Again, without a coach like Talbot pushing hard and support from family, an athlete cannot reach record-setting performances. Growing up as an athlete, you have to make choices and sacrifices like you do in most phases of our life. Thinking back, I don't think I'd change much. Thank you very much.
Our final athlete inductee left his mark in the hockey arena from the 1950s to the 1970s.
Like most kids growing up in Fort William during the 1940s and 50s, Joe Szura learned the game of hockey on the outdoor rinks of his neighborhood. He did not just limit his time to the ice surface, as he was involved in a number of sports throughout his life, including time spent on the gridiron and in later years on the golf course. It was in the sport of hockey, however, that he would dedicate a great deal of his time and talents. Spending his junior years as a center ice performer with the Fort William Columbus Canadians, he made his presence known in his very first season. His accurate shot netted him 27 goals, and his unselfish playing style earned him 36 assists, claiming the league scoring title and Rookie of the Year honors. During his 3 years with the club, they won as many district titles, and in his final season, he reclaimed the scoring title with 13 goals and 27 assists. Given his success as a junior, it was a little surprise when the parent Montreal Canadiens signed him to a contract. Lacing up for the Montreal Royals of the Eastern Professional Hockey League for the 1959-60 season, his first challenge was not so much the other players, but a bit of bad luck. Taking a shot on net in a game in the Montreal Forum, his efforts not only earned him his first professional goal, but unfortunately, a broken collarbone. His resilient nature had him back on the ice and onto the scoring charts with Ottawa Hull and the North Bay Trappers before making the jump to the American Hockey League. With the Cleveland Barons from 1962 to 67, he proved himself a top offensive threat. Challenging for the 1963-64 AHL Calder Cup, his efforts were invaluable to the club as they advanced towards victory. His outstanding performance included scoring not one, but 2 hat tricks in just one game. His total of 13 goals and 6 assists in 9 games set a new playoff record. Not surprisingly, he was considered a fan favorite, and his talents earned him a position on the 1966 AHL First All-Star team. Under contract with Montreal, and with limited opportunities to crack their Stanley Cup winning lineup, Joe's introduction to the NHL did not occur until the expansion years of 1967-68, when, at 29 years of age, he was drafted by the Oakland Seals. Spending some time in the AHL with Buffalo that first season, his talents were fully utilized by the Seals in his second, with his 21 points helping the club move from last place to second and earning a playoff spot. Returning to the AHL, he was a welcome addition to the Providence Reds from 1969 to 70 and the Baltimore Clippers from 1970 to 71, advancing to the AHL finals with both teams. Moving over to the World Hockey Association in 1972, he advanced to the forward line of the Los Angeles Sharks, racking up 45 points in 73 games. At center ice with the Houston Aeros and with Gordie Howe on his wing, the team claimed the 1973-74 WHA championship title, sweeping Chicago 4-0 in the best-of-7 series. Retiring in 1975 following a 16-year professional career, he left behind a record of 90 NHL, 114 WHA, and over 600 AHL games to his credit. Upon his return to Thunder Bay, Joe became involved in his community, serving time as a coach with the Elks and working for many years in the city's Parks and Recreation Division. Passing away in October of 2006, this outstanding athlete leaves behind a legacy of success and admiration from all who had the opportunity to know him and to see him play the game he loved so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame the name of Joe Szura, being proudly represented here this evening by his grandson and namesake, Joey Szura. In addition to Joey, many members of Joe's family and friends are here to celebrate his induction into the Hall of Fame, including his wife Lou, sister Helen, children Joe, John, and Jodine, and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Szura.
On behalf of my Gramps, I am very honored to accept this special honor. Gramps loved the game of hockey. He loved watching my brother Josh and I play. We miss him very much. Thank you so much for this award.
Our first builder of the evening has truly dedicated himself to curling excellence.
This respected coach, official, and volunteer has spent close to 30 years involved with curling from the local to the world level. Like most successful builders, he got his start in the sport as a participant. An active curler during the 1970s, he represented Ontario in national elks competitions during that time. Turning his attention to the administrative side of the game, he joined the board of directors of the Fort William Curling Club in 1979, serving the organization through to the 1990s in various capacities, such as junior chairman and as their president. In 1984, he began his over 15-year involvement with the Northwestern Ontario Curling Association, taking on such positions as Zone 2 convener, promotions and development chair, and serving as their president from 1998 to 99. Involved with Curl Ontario since 1987, he has helped promote the education and development of curling in our province. A Level 3 certified coach and master course conductor, he has passed along his strong knowledge of the fundamentals of the sport to hundreds, if not thousands, of curlers through the teams he has coached, the clinics he has coordinated, and the camps he has instructed at. A member of the Canadian Curling Association's officiating team since 1989, his technical skills have been called upon for over 20 national men's, women's, and junior championships. He has also provided his expertise at 4 Worlds and the 1997 and 2001 Olympic trials. His exceptional leadership skills have seen him hold key positions with many events in Thunder Bay, including the National Mixed, Scott Tournament of Hearts, Continental Cup, and World Junior Championships. A successful junior coach since the 1980s, his rinks have claimed a total of 7 Northern Ontario titles. In 1983, he coached the Scott Henderson rink to gold at the Canada Winter Games, and in 2003, guided the Krista Scharf rink to silver at the World University Games in Italy. Most recently, his coaching talents have been sought after by many countries, as evidenced by his current position as head coach of the Netherlands. For his efforts, Bill has received many awards. In 1987, he was named the Coach of the Year by Curl Canada, and in 2001, he received the 3M Community Coach Award. Most fitting recognition for this exceptional builder and the efforts he has put forth for the sport of curling in our region and our country.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, Bill Charlebois, being represented here this evening by his son, Peter Charlebois. Bill is over in the Netherlands doing what he does best, passing on his knowledge of curling to their national curling team. We are pleased to have his wife Gail here this evening, who has been by his side throughout his whole career. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Charlebois.
This is quite an evening, friends. It is indeed a real honor to stand here in place and accept this award from my terrific dad and my buddy. It reminded me, or at least I confess looked up on the internet, Mark Twain's words that he said, when I was a young boy of 14 years old, my dad was so ignorant, I could hardly stand to have the old boy around. But, you know, by the time I was 21, I was surprised how much the old man had learned. So, thing is, it's appropriate for me even to be accepting this award tonight, because I can take some of the credit for it, because I really was such an atrocious curler in high school. The dad had no choice but to become the world-class coach that he is tonight. So let me read you Dad's words. There's so many people in my life that I'd like to thank tonight, but it's never possible at a time like this to name them all, but I will mention a few. First, I want to thank my biggest fan, my wife, Gail. Without your support, I would not be being honored here today. And to my old friend and mentor, Mr. Neil Duncan, thank you for your friendship and for your guidance over the years. You have given me encouragement and direction, and more than you will ever know, I want to thank you for those and for nominating me to the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. To Susan Childs, for the work that you did in putting my resume together, and to Doug Henry for helping to keep it up to date. I want to thank the many great people on the various boards and committees I have worked with, the club members and the coaches across the district and the country that I have had the honor to be with, to work alongside, and indeed to learn from. A special thanks to my friend Dick Henderson. Since we met, Dick, you have always been there for me to encourage and to teach me, to do so throughout the years as a course conductor and as an instructor. Thank you to all the curlers, both young and old, who've allowed me the privilege of being part of their lives. The work we have done together and the friendships we have made my involvement a pleasure and never a sacrifice. Finally, thank you to the selection committee for selecting me to this Hall of Fame. To have the passion of my life recognized in this way is far beyond my expectations. My only regret is that I can't be with you there tonight. Thank you all, Bill Charlebois. Thank you, friends.
Our final builder guided our nation's finest alpine skiers.
While growing up in Port Arthur during the 1950s and 60s, this future coach spent many cold winter days honing his skills on the hills around his hometown, and his efforts paid off. His first success came as a competitor, capturing titles and headlines from the local to the national level. Winning a silver medal in slalom at the 1967 Canada Winter Games and the combined title at the 1967 Canadian Junior Championships, he served as a member of the Canadian Alpine Ski Team from 1967 to 71. Following his graduation from Lakehead University and their ski team, he spent some time working with the Head Ski Company's pro racing team in the early 1970s before making his way back to the Canadian team, this time as a coach. First serving as a coach of the women's team, he created and designed programs to meet the needs of his athletes. His strategy was a huge success, as evidenced by Kathy Kreiner's 1976 Olympic gold medal performance in the giant slalom. Taking over the reins of the men's national team in 1977, JR, as he was known by his skiers, was responsible for guiding them through what is remembered today as the heyday of Canadian skiing, the era of the Crazy Canucks. Under his tutelage, his skiers, including the likes of Ken Reid, fellow Thunder Bay native Dave Irwin, Dave Murray, and Steve Podborski, produced an incredible 13 World Cup race victories. When you combine Podborski's history-making moments of winning the 1980 Olympic gold medal and 1981-82 World Cup title, the first North American male ever to do so, the accomplishments of his skiers were unprecedented. Named the first master coach in skiing by the Coaching Association of Canada in 1980, he continued to lead the men's team until stepping down in 1983, having the longest coaching record for skiing at the national level at the time. John's return to Alpine Canada in 1990 marked another significant time in Canada's skiing history. This time, his challenge was to produce organizational success. Serving for 2 years as their CEO, he played a major role in reorganizing the association and bringing some much-needed financial stability to it. It was during his return that Canada earned another Olympic medal, with Karen Lee Gartner claiming gold in Albertville in the women's downhill. Having proven his sports management skills in skiing, he transferred them to football, serving as vice chairman of the Ottawa Rough Riders from 1993 to 1995, helping with the club's financial turnaround. An alternate governor of the Canadian Football League, he chaired the Television and Marketing Committee and served on the CFL Player Relations Committee. From the days of learning to ski on the hills of Port Arthur over 40 years ago, this builder of sport has truly made a name for himself, and it is a name that will go down in Canadian history as someone who has played a significant role in producing some of our nation's finest moments in sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, John Ritchie. John has traveled with his wife Eileen from Kelowna to be here. He now officially joins his brother Andy Ritchie in the Hall of Fame. And we do have some messages for you, John. The first one, congratulations, John. It was a long road from the cold, icy slopes of Northern Ontario to the glamour of the world's attention on the ski hills of Europe. That road was built by determination and grit from a few Canadians who showed the rest of the world what we are made of. Congratulations and best wishes to all. Yours truly, Peter Ritchie. That's John's brother who lives in Vancouver. And message number 2. Dear John, it gives me great pleasure to congratulate you on your induction into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in Thunder Bay. My first memory of you was of Super 8 footage that my dad took of you when you were at a race in Thunder Bay with my older brothers and sister. You were a random person skiing down the hill, and he filmed you because of your smooth, flowing style. No one in Timmins was that smooth. I had the privilege to have you as a coach on the national ski team years later. One comment I distinctly remember you saying when you were coaching the Crazy Canucks that always impressed me was how you saw yourself as helping smooth out the wrinkles, how you were working with the athletes who had figured it out, and your job was to serve them. You didn't come in and say, now this is the way to do it. You were an empowering coach who was wise enough to know who was in the driver's seat and helped the athlete recognize that. You have made an awesome contribution to the sport of ski racing in this country and are so well deserving of this award. Congratulations, and that's from Kathy Kreiner Phillips, the 1976 Olympic gold medalist. Ladies and gentlemen, John Ritchie.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for this wonderful honor. I have to introduce my wife, Eileen, who came with me from Kelowna. We've been together for 30 years, so she's been with me all the way through my entire sports career, and it's just been a lot of fun that Eileen and I have had throughout the years with the different things we've done in sports. Last night I was talking to my brother Andy, who I'm proud to follow into this, and I have to say that one of the greatest sporting events I ever saw was him in the Montreal Olympics swimming in the final event there. It was unbelievable and an unbelievable event, and you know, we have one of his teammates here tonight, and I have to tell you that swimming is incredibly intense, and you know, I really admire what you've done in swimming and what Andy did, and it was a standout event that I witnessed him in Montreal. Anyway, some of these old pictures reminded me of growing up in Thunder Bay, and my sister Barbie, who's here, and my brother Pete would take me out to Mount Baldy skiing and drop me off at Duds, it was called, Dudley's. And I remember Dudley because he was the first guy that had tips on both ends of his skis. So Dudley would come sailing down and jump around line backwards, and he could ski backwards and make turns, and I thought that was pretty cool. You know, someday I'm going to grow up to be like that and do those type of tricks. And then finally out at Mount Baldy, you'd graduate up to the big lift, and that was before the chairlift, so you'd go over and, you know, just a kid, and you'd grab onto the rope toe, and the rope's going so fast, you just stand there as it burned its way through your gloves, and then finally the ice and everything would catch hold, and you'd take off and go zipping up to the top of the mountain, and your poles are flying all over the place, and they get tangled around the rope, and you go sailing through the safety gate, and hanging up there as a kid, it was a lot of fun. So I went to PACI, and I'd get in trouble with the teachers because I draw little slalom courses on my notebooks, and then run, you know, imaginary races through the sheets. And the teachers were always telling me you'd never amount to anything because all you think of is skiing. But my dear old mom would always come and defend me and encourage me and stand at the bottom of the races, and you know, her heart beating as you know, we'd come zinging down the downhills and the like, which in Thunder Bay, I have to say, were unbelievably dangerous. In those early days, there were no safety nets, or there were no hay bales or anything. If you made a mistake, you just hit the trees. So it'd really teach you to stay on course. There are a couple of people that I have to thank. Lyndon McIntosh, who lived in Thunder Bay, was one of the first people that got me involved in ski racing, and Lyndon's still involved in car racing to this day. Ken Crompton, who some of you may remember, Ken's a lawyer in Toronto now and very influential in Southern Ontario in ski racing. And Ken, in particular, used to come by and pick me up every day after school, and we'd go out and train cross-country skiing at Mount Baldy, because in those days you had to go, you know, 4 ways. So you had to go jumping, and then you had to run cross country just to ski slalom and downhill. So we did that every day, and without those two fellas, I would never have made it onto the national ski team when I was a kid, and they were a real positive influence on me, and I'll always remember that. I'd also like to thank Dr. John Porter for nominating me for this, this honor, and thank you very much, John, for that. So, one other quick story I'll tell you about, and this kind of made a difference. I remember I was 13 years old, and there was a race at Loch Lomond. And for the first time, I was going to race against the seniors, the old guys, my brother and all his friends. And I was going up the lift with this fella. His name was Jan Jacobsen, the Swedish guy, a coach. So he was talking to me. I think it looked like those old pictures you saw, just a little kid. So he said, Yanni, how do you think you're going to do in this race? How do you think you're going to do? I said, well, I hope if I go as fast as I possibly can, I'm going to come in 5th or 6th. And Jan Jacobsen said, no, Yanni. You got to think you're going to win. So throughout my coaching career, I always told the athletes that story. No matter what you do, you're going into an event, just always think you're going to win. I think that's something that most athletes carry through their entire life. So thank you very much for having me. I'm very honored to be here and very much appreciate this award.
Our team category welcomes national champions in the sport of Little League Baseball.
When the 1975 edition of the Fort William National Internationals donned their supreme uniforms and took to the field at the Fort William Stadium for the District 3 playdowns, they were setting upon a journey to reclaim the national crown that some of them had won the year before. Their 13-0 blanking of the Port Arthur Continentals in their first game was a sign that they were on the right path. Going on to win their next 3 games, they claimed the district title and the chance to compete in the Canadian Championships. They did not have too far to travel, as Thunder Bay played host to the national finals that year, welcoming teams from Calgary, BC, and Montreal. Adding to their perfect record, they blanked Calgary in their first matchup, scoring 2 unanswered runs in the 5th. Next up was Montreal, and this time it was 4 unanswered runs in the 4th that led to their victory. Their first loss came at the hands of Calgary, where a 5-3 final in an emotionally charged matchup that featured injuries and ejections set up a sudden death rematch to determine who would wear the national crown. In front of a capacity crowd at Port Arthur Stadium, the Western visitors' only run came in the first inning, with the hometown team's 4 runs in the 4th and double in the 6th, earning them the national title and a trip to Gary, Indiana to represent their country at the Little League World Series. The double knockout 8-team competition featured the top ball players from the US, the Far East, and Europe. No Canadian team had ever won the event, and to even win a game was considered a major accomplishment. After resting up in their accommodations in the local high school and having their hair cut to an acceptable length, the squad was ready to meet their first challengers. First up was the team from Fresno, California, representing the U.S. West. Scoreless after 4 innings, their opponents logged 2 runs in the 5th, producing a 2-0 final. Next up was the U.S. East, being represented by a team from New York. This time it was Canada's turn to blank the competition, emerging victorious in a 4-0 final, keeping their hopes alive. The team from Clear Ridge, Illinois, representing the U.S. North, was all that stood in their way of the team making history with a second victory at the tournament. An unearned and unanswered run in the 4th handed them a hard-fought 1-0 loss. Eliminated from the tournament, they could be proud of their strong showing over their 3 games, and equally proud of Dan Tennant, who was named a Series All-Star. The members of this national championship team and Canada's representatives at the Little League World Series included Mark Backer, Lee Browning, Gord Griffin, Doug Harris, Andy Hay, Graham Longley, Ken Mayer, Bill Alexic, Dave Osipenko, Gordon Pierce, Peter Poshtar, Dave Purdy, John Sliskovic, Dan Tennant, Coach Bill Poshtar, and Manager Maurice Sawchuk. It was 32 years ago that these young athletes left their mark on our region's proud sports heritage, and no doubt to them and to their many fans, it feels like only yesterday.
It is hard to believe that it has been 32 years since that summer. We're so glad to have so many of the team back together here tonight to honor their accomplishments. Only 2 players are not being represented this evening, including Gord Griffin and Bill Alexic. Many of the players' family members are here, just as they were years ago in the stands, cheering them on to victory. Please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame the members of the 1975 Fort William National International Canadian Senior Little League Baseball Championship team, starting with Mark Backer. Lee Browning, who has traveled here from Kenora. Doug Harris. Andy Hay. Graham Longley, who is being represented by his son Graham Jr. Ken Mayer. Dave Osipenko. Gordon Pierce. Dave Purdy, who has traveled here from Duluth. John Sliskovic, who has traveled here from London. Dan Tennant. Team manager, the late Maurice Sawchuk, being represented by his wife Anita Sawchuk. Coach Bill Poshtar, who is also representing his son Peter Poshtar. Let's hear it for the members of the 1975 Canadian Senior Little League champions, the Fort William National Internationals. I will now ask that our Hall of Fame photographer, Jaron Childs, take a group shot of the team. Once he has taken his pictures, you're welcome to take your own, but we please ask that you wait until he gets his official ones done first.
I am very proud to represent this ball team of ours, the long-haired weirdos, as you'll see in your program. And they've all turned out to be very good district representatives, and every one of them have become a decent citizen here in our district of Thunder Bay. Every one of them. Also like to take this opportunity to thank Diane Emery and her associates for having us here, and all you fine people for coming here this evening. Thank you very much.
As we have seen tonight, all of our 2007 inductees have contributed greatly to the sports history of our region. Thank you all for being a part of this evening in honor of sports excellence. To close out this evening, we are pleased to welcome back to the stage Denise Krawchuk for a final tribute to our 2007 inductees.
Face the pain. I time. When I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are heartbeat away, and the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time. When I'm racing with destiny, then in that one moment of time, I will feel eternity. I live to be the very best. I want it all, no time for less. I've laid the plans, now lay the chance here in my hands. I want one moment in time. When I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are heartbeat away, and the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time. When I'm racing with destiny, then in that one moment of time, I will feel eternity. Yes, you're a winner for a lifetime. If you seize that one moment in time, make it shine. Give me one moment in time. When I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are heartbeat away, and the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time. When I'm racing with destiny, then in that one moment of time, I will be, oh, I will be free. I will be free. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. And let's hear it one more time for our newest honored members, Janette Dowton Stute, Johanna Malloy Stewart, Joe Szura, Bill Charlebois, John Ritchie, and the members of the 1975 Fort William National International Senior Little League team. Congratulations once again to our 2007 inductees. Please feel free to come forward to the stage to offer your personal congratulations to our newest Hall of Famers. Good night, everyone. See you next year.